What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. So obviously a couple of days ago, I think it was Tuesday, the first round of the MSI, I guess the group stage, whatever you want to call it, wrapped up. And it was pretty exciting in a lot of ways. I thought it was good. I thought it was interesting. There was definitely some boring days, definitely some boring games. But overall, I thought things went pretty well. I thought things went pretty smoothly. I'm having a great time enjoying, watching, discussing MSI so far. And I'm so excited for this Rumble stage. I think this Rumble stage is going to be absolutely awesome. But when I was scrolling through YouTube like a couple days ago, I had this clip come up saying that Jankos hates the MSI format. And I have been seeing some other people talking about this on Twitter and on Reddit and stuff, how this MSI format, as compared to like other years or maybe just in general, sucks a little bit. And it was a little bit boring for some people. And I totally get what they're coming from. I get both sides of it. I understand it. And in this video today, we're going to be watching this clip from Jankos. We're going to be talking about how this format maybe differs from others, how they could make it better, why it sucks, why it was boring for some people, whatever. And just kind of discussing that, talking all things MSI, because it's obviously the big tournament going on right now. But before we get into that, I just wanted to mention, if you guys have not already, please take a second and smash that like button. I would appreciate it so much. It really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm, helping get my videos, content, channel, everything out to more and more people. And then subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content, because I think like 64% of the people that watch my videos are actually not subscribed. So we could have like double, if not even triple the subscribers. I mean, we could be hitting, 10, 15, 20K subs. That'd be absolutely awesome. But with that being said, let's get right into this. So before I give my thoughts and opinions and kind of my breakdown of the whole situation, let's see what Jankos has to say first. Let's see why Jankos hates this MSI format. After we watch an ad, I guess. I had the video all queued up. I already watched an ad. I don't know what they're doing. But we're getting a full 15-second ad. So I guess Jabra Elite 85T, you're getting some free cloud out of this one. You're lucky. But now we can actually get into the
tomorrow
video.
Is Royal Never Give Up going like 20-0. So that's not interesting. Then is like a Mad Lions day, but they are also gonna go 20-0. The next interesting day is this one, Tuesday. I think Tuesday should be interesting because this is a day where like Cloud9 actually has to make it out of groups. And I think they will. Don't get me, I think they will, but it's still gonna be interesting. And then it's BO1 still? Why does it say BO1? Is still BO1 after? Holy shit, how many BO1s there are in this tournament? BO5 start here? What the fuck?
I would say you're literally better than Faker.
It's another group? It's group stage into group stage? It's stage 2 group stage? Oh my goodness, I'm puking here.
So obviously, Jankos is not a fan of this MSI format. He's puking, he's throwing up, he's saying it's so many best ones, it's group stage into group stage, and there's definitely some fair criticism. And also when he's talking about the groups, he says Group A, RNG is going to go 20-0, and that is a very fair criticism. And I think that's kind of what is happening a lot was, especially earlier on in the tournament, a lot of the games, the majority of the games we saw were RNG against Pentanet, RNG against Unicorns. We kept seeing those matchups over and over again. And then we had an entire day, set aside just for RNG against those other two teams. And RNG goes 8-0, pretty much 8 stomps. And yeah, Unicorns and Pentanet, they maybe trade some games back and forth. They even end up going to a tiebreaker. So we even got an extra game out of that group. But those games were overall not that fun, not that exciting to watch. And I think earlier on, a lot of people were kind of complaining about the format because a lot of the games seemed like stomps. A lot of the games seemed boring. But obviously, a big part of that is the fact that Gigabyte Marines, Gam Esports, whatever, was not able to attend the tournament. And if they had been able to, would that have made that group a little bit more interesting? Would that group have been a little bit more exciting? Would it have been more fun to watch? Would it, seeing 4 less RNG against Unicorns of Love and Pentanet matchups had made the whole tournament overall a little bit better? I think that's a very fair criticism. And then again, Group B, there was a lot of hype surrounding maybe Mad Lions against PSG Talon, how that would go, but Mad Lions handled them pretty well in the 2 games, and then both those teams easily made it out of the group stage, so that group wasn't that exciting. And then like Jankos said, Group C was obviously pretty exciting. The only group with 2 major region teams in the LCS and the LCK. So that maybe had a little bit of a difference. Obviously, Damwon didn't go undefeated, and even Mad Lions didn't go undefeated. So there were some teams making some moves, pulling off some upsets and stuff. But I do think a big reason why a lot of people had a problem with that round 1 probably had a lot to do with Group A, probably had a lot to do with the fact that Gigabyte Marines weren't there. But yeah, there's some fair criticism. That some of those groups did suck. Some of those games weren't super exciting. And Jankos is a guy who he won the last MSI. He's kind of he should be an expert on MSI. He should know exactly what's going on. And when he's comparing it to the tournaments in the past, yeah, group stage into the knockout stage might seem like a lot of BO1s. Might seem not super exciting for a lot of people, especially when a lot of people like BO5s. A lot of people want to see those hype matchups and want to see knockout and want to see stakes and stuff. When RNG's playing in a group with Unicorns Love and Pentanet, there's not a lot of stakes on the line in any of those games. Even if any of those games end up being close, RNG's probably still going to be fine. They're probably still going to win their group, even if they drop a game or 2 or even 3 or 4. I think the teams ended up going like 2 and 6 in groups or something. So RNG had plenty of room. There was no stakes. There was no excitement. There was nothing crazy. But what I do think is actually interesting about this is when Jat chimed in, and I didn't even understand this right at the beginning either, is that this MSI format is actually the exact same as MSI formats we've seen in the past. The only thing is this time they're making everyone play in the play-in stage. So when we go and look at what Jat posted, like 2019, they have the play-in stage where the major regions aren't at the play-in, but they have that group stage. And then we get to the actual group stage, which you see in the middle, and then we get to the bracket stage. But this year, they just made it a group stage, a rumble stage, and a bracket stage with the major regions actually getting to play against the minor regions and the emerging regions, pretty much making everyone play in the play-in stage to actually get to the rumble stage. Now, maybe this sucks a little bit because like fans of the major regions, they usually don't even tune into the emerging region games or anything like that. They usually don't tune into the play-in stage, so they're not really used to there being back-to-back group stages. But for the minor region fans, this is exactly what they're always used to. And maybe that's better, maybe it's worse, I don't exactly know. Also, another big thing here that people were talking about is now the major regions had one less week of practice. Usually they'd get an extra week of practice and then play like the normal rumble stage, but this year obviously they had to go to group stage. They had to go to the play-ins, and since they changed the names and acted like it was a new format and stuff, I think a lot of people were confused when really it wasn't a new format. It wasn't anything different. It was just they were making everyone playing the group stage and everyone playing the play-in stage. And we can find this out by taking a look back to 2019, where this is the group stage that we just saw. Instead of having 3 groups of 4, they had 2 groups of 4 because the 4 major regions, LCK, LPL, LCS, and LEC, were not there. And if you had them there, then you'd have a total of 12 teams. So they did it with just 8 teams instead, with the top 2 obviously making it out, and then actually just playing against Team Liquid and Flash Wolves to then be able to qualify the final 3 teams actually for this group stage, where now this is exactly what the rumble stage looks like, where we got to see the 2 best of 1s against all the teams. Now, yes, it's different. Is it better? Is it worse? I don't know for sure, but even though the groups were a little bit boring, it was still kind of exciting. We got to see Mad Lions push to the edge. We got to see some exciting hype matchups. We got to see Damwon almost lose to Detonation Focus Me, almost lose to Cloud9 twice. It made for some interesting games. And the big thing here is one, Riot probably wants more viewership. They probably want the big teams, the big regions playing more often for sponsors and all that. I think it just makes sense. But also, what a lot of people have talked about is for the emerging regions, for teams like Pentanet, Unicorns of Love, Pain, all those teams, getting to play against Mad Lions, getting to play against RNG, getting to play against Damwon, all those teams. That is such valuable experience for them and something they can use to really develop as teams and as regions and as players over the course of the season, where typically, where we see like in 2019, a team like, Isurus Gaming, they get to play against Fongvu, Buffalo, Fenerbahce, and Bombers, and then they're just out. They don't ever get a game against a Damwon or an RNG or even a Cloud9 or a Mad Lions. So this format is a little bit better, hopefully for like competitive or competitive integrity or whatever, allowing some of those emerging regions to actually get to play against some of these bigger regions. Because I know that's something we talk about, like with the LCS all the time. They talk about how, the LCS teams suck and they get to practice against teams that suck, so they never get better. Well, that's how all these other regions feel as well. They're like, yeah, we get to go to MSI, but if we don't even get to play against any good teams, then what's the point? We would like to get the stage experience against the best of the best. And then even somebody like Pentanet, who plays RNG 4 times, they go 0-4. I still think they feel like they got a valuable experience. I still feel like they think they learned a lot, and it will help them going back to Osh. It'll help them in their next regular season, in their next playoffs, and could potentially help them develop to Worlds. Now, does that mean I think they're going to come to Worlds and beat RNG? No, but it means they can be a much, much better version of themselves than they already were, and if that helps them help out their region, help out their players, that's a win-win for everybody, you know, on a million different ways. For Osh, for Pentanet, for Riot, for League of Legends in general. It's really, really cool. And then we do get some of these storylines, you know, of these emerging regions getting the chance to take games off of some of these big teams. Even though we didn't get a ton of upsets, a lot of that stuff didn't happen, but still the potential is there. And again, maybe if they continue to use this experience going forward, we could see some stuff. So I totally get what people are saying. I totally get what Jankos is saying about, you know, having so many best of ones. And I know we want to get to those BO3s. We want to get to the BO5s. Not BO3s. We want to get to the BO5s. And we want to get those hype, insane matchups. But really, this format is the same format that G2 won this tournament back in 2019 with. Just instead of that play-in stage, it's just another group stage. Maybe 2 group stages is too many. Maybe there's a way they could fit in best of 3s in between, or something a little more exciting, something with a little more stakes. Because even now in the Rumble stage, for a team like Damwon or a team like RNG, it doesn't seem like there's a ton of stakes. Is PSG Talon really gonna knock them out? Is you know, like Pentanet really going to knock them out? Probably not. So maybe the tournament is a little too dragged on. Maybe it's a little too much going on. Maybe it's too many best of ones. Jankos might be right, but I did just want to at least, you know, bring to the discussion and shout out this tweet from Jat, which was really good, letting everyone know that this is the same. He said to add to this, the way he looks at it, the OPL, now the LCO achievement today is that they advanced to the old group stage for the first time. Instead of, you know, people are saying they got out of groups, and it's like, no, they really didn't. It's like they made it out of play-ins, not out of groups. So I think it is a big point, and something people really need to understand about this MSI, that this group stage is like play-ins before, not like the group stages we've seen before. And then after that, now it's the same tournament we've always seen. 6 teams, they're going to play best of 2s, they're going to go knockout. That's the same MSI we have always had. So does this format suck? Maybe. I thought it was interesting. I'm glad I got to see, as a Western fan, I'm glad I got to see Cloud9 and Mad Lions play some more games. I'm glad I got to see them play a week earlier. You know, if Cloud9 wouldn't have played in those play-ins, I didn't get to watch them, I probably wouldn't have watched much of those play-ins. Honestly, I don't really care about a lot of the emerging regions. But since Cloud9 did play, I watched a lot more MSI than I probably would have. Since Mad Lions did play, I watched a lot more MSI than I probably would have. So in that regards, I think Riot did a good job. Were they the most exciting games in the world? No. But I'm still hyped up and excited for the Rumble stage. I still think it's going to be fun. I get the criticisms, but I don't hate this MSI format. But that is pretty much it for this video today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I would really appreciate it if you guys did, you know, drop a like on this video. Helps me out the YouTube algorithm a ton. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this MSI format? Have you been enjoying it? Do you hate it? Do you love it? I love your guys' thoughts and opinions. Hopefully, catch you guys in the next one. Peace!